For the second game week in succession, Graham Potter has lost to a caretaker manager. Chelsea travel to Tottenham and lose 2-0. Let's get into it.
And blue is the colour. Essien! Drogba! Lampard! That could be the championship!
Greetings! Welcome back to Couch Critic with me, Dennis P, for what is your Chelsea match review, but more specifically a tactical synopsis of Chelsea's performance against Tottenham Hotspur. But before I get into all that, ladies and gentlemen, do me the favor, you know the deal already. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification button. It'll help me with the algorithm. As you know, we're trying to grow this channel, and every like helps. Every like goes a long way to getting more people to see this content. And it'll also help my sponsors who go by the name of Major League Socks. And fellas, if you ever want to walk in the footsteps of greatness, you know what to do. Hit them up, the link will be in the description. Guys, I can't tell you the last time I went into a London derby feeling as apathetic as I did going into this game against Tottenham. It's just, I had nothing that made me felt me with confidence that Chelsea were going to be able to get a result. Chelsea were going to be able to show the fight and, commitment that it takes to win the game. And, here we are, with this manager, with this club, new ownership and whatnot, standards just dropping like a brick, the ability to really galvanize a team and really invigorate energy and, just coax good performances out of this team just seem to have evaporated. We're 2-16 now under this manager, 2-16. I can't tell you I can't even think of a time where Chelsea have been, deeper in the mire, closer to relegation than we are to top four. It's just embarrassing. It's extremely embarrassing. And I'm just going to get into some of the, macro topics. I'm not going to get into too much of the analytics around the game itself, just because there wasn't really a lot to go on once again. And like I said in my last match review, it's just killing my it's killing my match reviews. It's killing my content because I can't really get into the specifics of, the tactics when I don't see a lot of it being employed. But there are some things that we need to cover all the same, and we will get into it right away. Now, before this match, we're 2-15, and you would think that a manager like Graham Potter at Chelsea, with that paltry record, would be doing everything he can to coax a good performance out of his squad, invigorate them, fill them with passion, and it's just like this guy is just completely oblivious. He's just oblivious. I don't know how else to say it. You think about, guys that you need to put in a performance, and he brings on Ziyech of all people, a guy that was like a carrier pigeon away from PSG, And I understood it. I understood that Ziyech is a guy that likes to track back or has been tracking back lately, and we wanted him more as that hybrid sort of winger wing back because we wanted to make a back five when we were defending, and for the most part it was successful. But in terms of what we want to do going forward, what if the fax machine was working and Ziyech was on his way to PSG like he should have been rightfully? What would you be doing in that stead? What would you be doing without Ziyech in the lineup? Because I don't see why guys like Madueke, I don't see why, guys like Sterling, Mudryk, why are these guys not being favored for a guy that was supposed to be out the door at the transfer window? You're just left questioning whether or not this guy understands what's going on. After coming off a layoff of 3 days, Chelsea didn't practice for 3 days last week. They were basically just saving all of their energy for this match. I'm sorry, if you do that, if you actually go in and you're saying that you can give the players 3 days off, you better hope like hell, especially when you're 2-15, that you've lit a fire under them that will burn like nothing before, like an inferno. You better hope that that's the case, because you cannot give a squad that is 2 in their last 15 in terms of win 3 days off and then they not be able to coax a great performance out of them. And you did get enough of that in the first 20 to 25 minutes. Chelsea were really in the ascendancy, taking the game to Tottenham, recovering, playing with passion and really, really dictating the game. But, once again, every time with this manager, We get about 20 to 25 minutes of maximum effort, maximum commitment. And then as soon as like we don't capitalize in those moments and we give teams an opportunity to counter, give teams the opportunity to grow into the match, we just can't keep up. And again, not that Tottenham gave us a lot to think about, but in the moments where they were in the ascendancy, we had absolutely no answer. And there was nothing that Graham Potter showed me in that game that made me believe that he understood what the circumstances were in this game. London derby against the Spurs, a bitter rivalry. It felt a lot like, Chelsea under Maurizio Sarri, who didn't understand the importance of that sort of derby. It just felt like the exact same scenario. He's got like a caretaker manager on the sidelines again for the second week in a row. We go into halftime. You think that you can, coax a performance out of this team. You think that you can like invigorate them. You're in halftime 0-0 at White Hart Lane, whatever it's called now. Who cares? The new White Hart Lane. And you come out flat and concede right away. This is what I'm talking about, man. Can this guy coax top performances out of this team? Can he invigorate them? Can he get them to play his style of football? For large portions of this game, I haven't seen anything that I recognize as being a tactical deployment. What were we trying to do? Were we manipulating the ball to get our most gifted ball carriers onto the ball in the dangerous areas? Were we in situations where Tottenham were trying to be defensive and like trying to keep, Enzo Fernandez, Felix off the ball? Were we getting them into scenarios where we could, overload and get them on the ball and then dictate our attacking moves from there? Nothing of the sort. It was just down the flanks, spamming across, hit and hope. So yeah, above all else, like the tactics not being there, the in-game management not being there, like he's not able to even coax the effort out of these guys. Like the work rate that was there in the first 20-25 minutes completely evaporates, in the latter stages of the game, and then we're chasing it again. And he's blaming it on, we conceded a goal and then we found it difficult from there. No, it's been difficult the entire match because you haven't been able to match the intensity of the match. You haven't been able to like really, invigorate a squad that is suffering right now. And it's for these reasons that this guy's not the right manager for this job. Maybe he's in over his head. He keeps comparing us to Arsenal and stuff like that. The time it took Arsenal to, get to where they are right now, which is still nowhere. They haven't won anything. And like using that as the benchmark for where we want to be is embarrassing. Embarrassing. I'm not aspiring to be Arsenal, a team that's waiting 3 years, 4 years before they're contending for anything. This is not Arsenal. This is not Brighton. This is Chelsea, man. We compete for titles every year, or at least every other year. We don't wait, 3-4 years before we start seeing the type of football that we want to see. A winning brand of football. And this guy just seems to be completely oblivious to that. The supporters will not give you the time you think it takes to build a winning side. Like we spent a lot of money. Whether or not the ownership and the board doesn't recognize that, the money spent should be equaling points on the board. I know the supporters do. The supporters in the terraces. I know people online, like people like myself, content creators. We understand that level of investment should equate to points on the board. We shouldn't be, wallowing down in like whatever. I don't even know where we are anymore. I don't even care. But like the fact that we're nowhere near contending, the fact that we're 2-16. 2 wins in 16 games is incredibly poor. And to be honest with you, the excuses of like him not having the preferred 11, like the squad, man, at this point in time, if you cannot coax a performance out of even your squad players to get a result against 20th in the league, Southampton, against, a bitter rival in Tottenham, then what is it that you're inspiring? Like how do you fill me with the inspiration to know that you have the best interests of this club at heart? That you understand how to like coax performances out of this team. I feel the complete opposite right now. I feel like you demotivate this squad because every time we have a good spell of minutes, we go back in the half and come back out and it's a completely different side every time. I've never seen a manager who's demotivated the squad as much as I've seen under Graham Potter. The squad is just frustrated. And the thing that kills me is this guy doesn't even recognize that. He gave Kai Havertz a full 90 when he was flirting with a red. Like literally flirting with a red. Like I see him going late into challenges, just to like get in the face of Romero and stuff like that, Royale. And he's not recognizing any of that. He's not making any switches to like say, okay, I need to calm this thing down right now before it blows up in our face. Fortunately it didn't, because there are a few occasions in that game where Kai Havertz could have seen second yellow easily. He's not even recognizing those moments. Moments where you have to diffuse the situation. And I mean, clearly what's happening on the pitch right now is not working. The tempers are boiling over. How do I, bring it back down to a level where we can coax a performance and win the game? And it's not even like he's playing well. He was playing awful. There was no reason to keep him on there on a yellow as well. So it's not even just the fact that he's not really recognizing the situation that we're in. He's also not even just managing the game correctly. He's not taking him off when he's on yellow and not playing well. It is just baffling me that after how many months now, how many months on the training pitch right now, we still don't have an identifiable style of football. We still haven't been able to see a semblance of some sort of synergy or chemistry on the pitch. We're being told to be patient for a manager who hasn't shown us anything. No tactical nous, no ability to really, make players better, galvanize the squad. Show me that you at least have the building blocks in place for the future. We're being asked to back a manager that hasn't given us anything at all. The guy goes into his press conference, big London derby, and the man is talking about he's making jokes as he walks in about having a crisis meeting with the board. Making jokes about that. The only reason why he can do that is because there's absolutely no standards at this club right now. The only pressure he's getting is from the terraces right now and in the papers. But everywhere else, we're fine, just keep on doing what you're doing, it'll come good eventually. What is the evidence that it will come good? Where is the evidence of that? I haven't seen anything. We haven't even seen this guy string together two games where Chelsea are playing well. This is not acceptable under any season at Chelsea. It just isn't. It's just not acceptable. I don't care if it's his first 3 months, his first 4 years, his first 2 minutes. This level of football that we're seeing right now is just not acceptable. I haven't seen anything in the 6 months that he's been here that leads me to believe that going forward, he's going to be the guy that's going to take us to titles. He's going to be the guy that's going to be lifting us to the top of the Premier League. But I do think I'm going to wrap it up there. I don't know what else to say. I'm at the end of my rope, guys. I'm truly at the end of my rope. I don't know what else to do. This football has become so hard to watch. Hard to watch. I can't remember a time that it's been like this for us. This manager just cannot get this team to buy into his way of playing. And worse, the players that we've had come in to help inject some energy and passion into the club are regressing now. João Felix regressing. Enzo Fernandez regressing. Madueke can't get on the pitch. Mudryk, after a brief cameo of 30 minutes, has not looked good. What is going on? There's a lot of money that's been spent to support this manager. And we can't get the performances out of these players. What is more indicting than that? Having spent £600 million in around there, whether or not it was for him or otherwise, putting a lot of money into this club and not seeing any sort of return. I'm not even asking for, challenging for the title. I'm talking for at least challenging for the European spots at this point. We're not even seeing that. This team is edging closer and closer to the relegation zone with no reaction. Absolutely none. Giving guys 3 weeks off, 3 days off here and whatnot. Where is the passion? Where is the energy? Where is how do you invigorate a squad like this? Do you have the ability to do that? Or do you just wait, like you did at Brighton, wait till you have 6 losses before, you see a reaction from you? It's just unacceptable, man. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. You guys know how I feel about this now. I'm very frustrated and I don't want to keep rambling on, but I can't take it. I really don't know what else to say. Blue flag flying high. Up the Chelsea. But I do think I'm going to wrap it up there. I don't know what else to say. I'm at the end of my rope, guys. I'm truly at the end of my rope. I don't know what else to do. This football has become so hard to watch. Hard to watch. I can't remember a time that it's been like this for us. This manager just cannot get this team to buy into his way of playing. And worse, the players that we've had come in to help inject some energy and passion into the club are regressing now. João Felix regressing. Enzo Fernandez regressing. Madueke can't get on the pitch. Mudryk, after a brief cameo of 30 minutes, has not looked good. What is going on? There's a lot of money that's been spent to support this manager. And we can't get the performances out of these players. What is more indicting than that? having spent 600 million pound in and around there, whether or not it was for him or otherwise, putting a lot of money into this club and not seeing any sort of return. I'm not even asking for, challenging for the title. I'm talking for like at least challenging for like the European spots at this point. We're not even seeing that. Like this team is edging closer and closer to the relegation zone with no reaction. Absolutely none. Giving guys 3 weeks off, 3 days off here and whatnot. Where is the passion? Where is the energy? Where is how do you invigorate a squad like this? Do you have the ability to do that? Or do you just wait, like you did at Brighton, wait till you have like 6 losses before, you see a reaction from you? It's just unacceptable, man. Guys, I'm gonna leave it there. You guys know how I feel about this now. I'm very frustrated and I don't want to keep rambling on, but I can't take it. I really don't know what else to say. Blue flag flying high. Up the Chels.